I would like to speak on something. I know it can be like a touchy subject. My natural hair is 4C. I feel like as a light-skinned black woman, I don't fit the beauty standard because of the texture of my hair.
Like, you see dark women with that hair and you can't fathom the fact that a light-skinned woman could have it. The way the light-skinned woman put themselves on a pedestal.
Make it make sense. I'm an unambiguous black woman and I'm being told to shut the fuck up.
Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Cerebral Baby and this is Cerebral Talks TV. I have been wanting to talk about this topic. I was a little bit hesitant. It is a sensitive topic. It went pretty viral. I know that I'm kind of late talking about it. And basically, this woman, she caused a stir because she said, as a light-skinned black woman, she feels like she doesn't fit the beauty standard because her hair is 4C. Her hair is very coarse. And there was a lot of black women making fun of her, going against her, felt offended. And I found it to be very interesting because the truth is, I have my notes written down. Look, there's so much. Look, y'all, there is so much we are going to get into with this video. You want to hear everything I have to say. But okay, I feel like if she were an unambiguous dark-skinned black woman, the response would have been different. People would say, yeah, girl, I understand the struggle. You got to have self-love, love yourself. You're beautiful. I know what it's like in this white supremacist world. Or, you know, yeah, being a dark-skinned black woman with this hair, we got to make it. We got to stay. You know, it would be a lot of sympathy and a lot of complimenting her. Your hair is so beautiful. Oh, you know, it's okay, sister. I understand. But because of how she looks, because of mainly her skin complexion, there were some black women kind of taking what she said the wrong way. I felt like she was being vulnerable. She was being authentic. And I blame black people for this problem. I blame black people. You know why? Because black people in America, a lot of you say things out your mouth over and over, and then you get shocked when black people are psychologically damaged from it. I don't understand why there was such a shock that she said what she said when black people are the main ones always associating somebody's skin tone with hair. Yes, we have a variety of different hair textures. Yes, the word good hair has existed in the community for centuries. Okay, I have been told this. I didn't make up the word. Black people did. Black people run around. Okay, the point is, basically, let me get my thoughts together because I got a lot to say. Okay, the whole good hair stuff, that comes from black people. And that's because a lot of black Americans do not have the same hair texture. And when you have hair that is not 4C, looser, curlier and everything, that's what they say for various different reasons. And then they will get surprised. The darker you get, the straighter your hair, the more they're like in shock that you have their hair texture. Black people associate if you have dark skin, your hair must be very kinky. Even though this is America, black people are diverse. Black people's genetics are diverse. Skin tone does not determine the texture of hair in America, a lot that you're going to have. But black people are the main ones saying, oh, he likes light-skinned women with good hair. Or the men in music, red bone with good hair. Oh, he left me for light-skinned women with good hair. Oh, they promote the light-skinned women with good hair. You never hear light-skinned women with the 4C hair. Black people act like light-skinned black women with 4C hair don't even exist. Don't pretend. Black people are the main ones hooting and hollering, screaming about someone's skin tone and their hair. Acting like light-skinned people with very coarse hair that y'all used to call nappy hair. Yeah, I went there because that's what y'all used to call it. Y'all act like they don't exist. And I don't understand where this came from, associating just because someone's skin is light to you, you don't know what kind of hair texture they always have, okay? And I mean, look, for example, we have Ananda Lewis, okay? Ananda Lewis has type 2 hair. She is Black American. Does not have a white parent or a parent from India. She is Black ADOS American, okay? And she's even darker than this photo. That is her hair, okay? So, and a lot of Black women in America and throughout the South also have the same type of hair as her. But for some reason, Black people love, I mean, don't get me wrong, type 4 hair is, there's a lot of type 4 hair, maybe 4A, 4B, and of course 4C. But there are a number of Black women in different parts of this country who have type 2 hair. But you don't see them. They're not talked about. And whenever Black people see it, they're like in disbelief or something, because they believe that all Black women have a certain type of hair texture. And if you see any of the videos on TikTok, the hair videos, more people see that is not true. That is not accurate. So basically, I'm going to play the video clip of what she said, but I felt like it was a shame to see some Black women especially get upset with her, because let's be honest, if Black people feel that you benefit from any of the isms, texturism, colorism, featureism, because it always moved. First it was hair, then it turned to, oh, okay, well, yeah, she has melanin and dark skin, but oh, she's seen as pretty. Why is that? Oh, is it because of her features? Oh, your features aren't Negroid enough. Oh, this and that. Then it was, oh, well, your hair, you're benefiting from texturism now. Now you're benefiting from being pretty privilege. Oh, you're pretty. So now I got to argue about that. It's just one thing to the next. Okay. And when Black people, they feel you benefit from the isms, they're like, well, why are you complaining? How can you have an issue? It's sort of like when a rich person complains and they're like, well, hold on, you're wealthy and you're rich. How can you be depressed? How could you have taken your life? You're a rich person. So Black people automatically believe that just because you benefit from being lusted after, you're pretty, 1 minute, oh, it's light skin colorism. Then it's, if you're not light skin, oh, you're real pretty. Oh, but your features are mixed or European. That's why they think you're pretty. Then it's this, oh, but your hair is looser. It's always something about basically complaining about who gets seen as pretty, who gets chosen, who's seen as pretty amongst other races. And it's always the complaints and everything. But if she had been a dark-skinned woman, the responses would have been different. I know this. But they couldn't believe. And the thing is, she wasn't even putting down anybody. Black people always want to associate certain hair textures with skin tone. We know this. This didn't come from white people. This came from the Black community. So while she is a beautiful woman in the face, okay, her skin complexion, but her hair is coarser, then Black people, I mean, like, especially the men, I'm sure she don't have issues getting men. She's pretty, but some Black people don't expect her to have very coarse hair. I have heard stories of women saying that, okay, I'm darker and I have loose wavy hair, and my lighter friend got real kinky hair, and people were like, hold on, she was supposed to have, what you doing with that hair is supposed to be on her, because y'all are mentally ill. And then talking about the diversity, Brazil, it's just, I don't know. It's a lot to say with Black people in America. It's like if you see a Brazilian who is darker skinned, all that stuff with loose curly hair, it's not a big deal. If you see a Dominican, but all of a sudden in America, you have to question stuff as if y'all don't know what Black people in America have different hair textures, and when you go to certain areas, it's not uncommon at all. Everyone, you have different textures within your own family, people coming out with different hair textures and stuff like that. So, all right, look, I got so many notes. There's so much to show you, y'all. Okay, so let me just play what she said. I'm going to play her video. She made a second video I'm going to play, and she showed her parents because people wanted to see what her parents look like, because some of them thought, oh, you got a white mom or something. She's like, no, both my parents are Black American. So, okay, let's get into it a little bit more. Also, this is 4C here, because I have seen Black women not knowing what 4C hair looks like. People will say, oh, your hair is not really 4C, it's 4B. No, it's 4A. No, my hair is 4C. Okay, this is 4C hair. Okay? So there is no confusion. This is what 4C hair is, okay? It's not perm, it's not flat iron, it doesn't have any curl pudding mousse in it. This is 4C hair in its natural state, okay? So with that said, this is the hair texture she says basically that she has. Let's get into it, baby. All right?
I would like to speak on something. I know it can be like a touchy subject, but I want to talk about this because this is a struggle that I have had with my confidence ever since I can remember. I am a very confident person, but the one thing I'm insecure about is my natural hair. Like, I feel like my natural hair is 4C. Like, it's coily, okay? And it shrinks so bad. And I've been getting relaxers ever since I was a child. I went natural for a couple of years, and I just could not bring myself to be comfortable with my natural hair. And I just feel like, especially like within our community, obviously there's texturism, but I also feel like, this is gonna sound so like kind of privileged, but I don't have to say it, but I just struggle with this. I feel like as a light-skinned black woman, I don't fit the beauty standard because of the texture of my hair. Like, I just don't feel confident when I wear my natural hair texture. Like, I don't at all. So I've always gotten relaxers, and I've always worn my hair in protective styles. Obviously, I know that's detrimental to think, and I know it's detrimental to our community, and it's a very privileged thing to say in comparison to the problems that brown skin and darker skinned women have to go through. I'm very aware of that. That's just one of my personal struggles, and I just wanted to say that because, yeah, texturism.
All right. So she basically said, again, she felt like, well, who's beauty standard, first of all? I guess beauty standard within the black race, because a lot of we know that colorism is a global thing within every community, okay? But I feel like if you're pretty, people will gravitate towards you if they think you're cute, regardless of what your skin tone is. You know, you dress cute, you have pretty, your features are balanced, your face looks cute, your hair is done. You will usually get attention regardless of what your skin tone is. Someone will say, oh, you look so pretty, you look like a doll, or, you know, and you see a lot of men when they date black women, from my observation, they're not always going for if you're the lightest one. A lot of men will date black women of any skin tone as long as they find you to be pretty. I feel like, if anything, it's black men in the media who have pushed a certain beauty standard within the black community. Because I can tell you this, when you date interracially, a lot of the men see black women as just black women. It doesn't matter if you are light, brown, or dark. It just doesn't. You are black, especially if it's a white man. All of you are black to him. Okay? They call people that we consider to be lighter skin still dark skin within their race, like the guy from Twilight who played Taylor Lautner. You know, when they say tall, dark, and handsome, and you see who they're saying is tall, dark, and handsome, they're not even actually dark skin. So yeah, but globally, everyone knows, everyone is aware that all you see plastered a lot of times are women who are very light, okay, regardless of what culture that it is. But as far as the Black American beauty standard, balance, nice. I mean, when I say balance features, your features are proportionate, okay? That doesn't mean the so-called Eurocentric thing, but balance features being slim, thick, and we can just be honest, it's a lot of the men who will promote, you know, the lighter, if your skin is lighter, a lot of the men do that in the media. It's not white people making black people have beauty standards in the black race. A lot of that comes from the men. But a lot of times, though, it's not based always about just color. It's about, do they find you attractive? And I noticed that anytime you're seen as attractive to black people, the men, but a lot of the women, they will dissect your features, all of a sudden. Oh, it's because you don't look strongly negroid. That's why, they think you're cute and all of that. You see that happen all the time. Black people love to do that. Okay. So my thoughts are getting all over the place, but basically she felt like, well, she doesn't fit the beauty standard that black people place. Black people want to associate skin tone with hair. She doesn't have the hair that they expect her to have because black people believe that only dark-skinned women have 4C hair. Especially the more negroid you look, that's the type of hair they feel, because they think, okay, you're not as mixed because of your skin tone or your features. So that's the type of hair we expect them to have. We black people love to talk about the field slave, house slave stuff and what happened during the slave era. During the slave era, everybody was getting mixed up from the plantations and coming out different colors with different hair, different eye colors and all that stuff. I don't know why black people pretend that just because your skin is not very light that you don't have any mixed ancestry from those days. Either you do. Most black people. Okay. While percentages can vary, that is a fact. I just don't get it. Where's this obsession with believing like, oh, well, this happened because of the slave days and stuff. Yeah, and you wouldn't be here either if some of that stuff didn't happen. You're not purebred yourself, a number. But there are black people who love to pretend this, or they think, well, my hair came out, 4C, so, I'm more of the real black than you type of thing. I'm more of the real black than you. I just say everybody just need to go get a DNA test. That's what I always think. Go get a DNA test. Now, in some cases, we know what's in our families and stuff. Not everybody's family looks the same genetically in their history all the time, but you get what I'm saying. So look, I'm looking at these notes because there's a lot to say. All right, so let's see the second video that she made and her parents, because they were questioning how does her parents look.
I'm gonna get straight to the point with this one. First things first, I never once said that 4C hair was something that only brown skin and dark skin people have to deal with and should have to deal with. And I never once said that because I'm light skinned, I shouldn't have 4C hair. The entire point of my video was to say that society holds light skinned people to a certain beauty standard. And yes, that's an ignorant assumption that light skinned people should look a certain way. And I said and I meant light skin. I said light skin and not mixed because there are light skinned people who are fully black, like myself, that have coily hair. Just like there are dark skinned and brown skinned people who have looser curl textures. Black people are not a monolith. Like, we don't all look one certain way. But there is an ignorant assumption by a lot of people that light skin and mixed are synonymous. And just because you're light skinned, you're mixed, when that's not the case. There are also mixed people that have coily hair. So again, I said what I meant and I meant what I said when I was saying specifically light skin beauty standard. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, the beauty standard we have in the society of the United States is a Eurocentric beauty standard. So any features that anybody has that look more Eurocentric are going to be more socially desirable. But again,
I get so tired of hearing Eurocentric. There's a such thing as mixed features. Why don't we ever just say that? I don't have strongly African features. I don't have straight up Caucasian features. I have a blend of those features. Why can't we ever say that? It's either you look Eurocentric to someone or, it's just, I don't get that. Why don't people just say that? And that's what a lot of us have. We're not strongly African looking, and we're not all strongly European looking all the time. We are a mix, a blend of those features together. But no one wants to say that. No one can say that. And again, no one is shoving anything down the black community's throat. Black men, especially in the media, are the ones who usually do that a lot. If anything, white people, they're always making, they pick black women who are very dark skinned as beauty pageant winners. When they have black women, half a good portion of the black women you see in the media today, they're not even American black. They're African, dark skinned and African. They will promote dark skinned women and women from Africa, white people in power. So we know that ain't all the way true. You know, black people and black people's media, especially the men, again, those are the ones that try to shove stuff down black women's throat in the media by only showing one type of woman a lot. And half the time, the women ain't even black half the time that I used to see in the hip hop videos and everything. So, okay, let's finish what she's saying.
That's an ignorant assumption to make. I was solely speaking on the topic of texturism because I don't deal with colorism. I know that as a light-skinned woman, I benefit from colorism, but that doesn't mean that because I have 4C hair, I want to be more Eurocentric and da-da-da. I was solely speaking about my struggle with my hair and my insecurity because I know that there are a lot of other light-skinned women that also feel this way. Texturism, featurism, colorism, they can all exist in the same space without negating the experiences of other people. I completely acknowledge the fact that I know that I benefit from colorism, but again, that doesn't take away from the fact that I have insecurities. Like, being light-skinned doesn't mean I'm not gonna have insecurities. Maybe I could have worded what I was saying better, but the other problem here is that a lot of people heard me say as a light-skinned black woman and completely negated everything else that I had to say.
Of course they did, because there are black people who don't like you because of your skin complexion, automatically assuming that you would think you're better, you don't have it as hard as me, oh, I know black men like you, and all that stuff. So, I'm going to read some of the comments that black women were saying to her. Okay, it was horrible, some of it. And again, like I said before, if she were darker, it would have been a different response about her having issues with her hair texture. So, okay, baby, let's look at her parents. For the people who thought, oh, you got a white parent, they thought that you ain't, so let's see. Okay, that is her mother. Okay, she looks just like her mama. Her mama's brown skin. Okay, there goes her father. He is brown skin, or a little bit of both of them, two brown skin people. We don't know what her parents even look like. So, but she is more lighter than them. All right, so mama, daddy. All right. And they may have her. No white mama, no white daddy. Okay. Okay, so one thing that she said that is so true. The problem is that a lot of black people keep lumping black American women who are light skinned with biracial women who have usually white mamas who are light skinned. Yes, you can look similar. That's why they were still called black back in the slave days, because they still look like light-skinned black people. But a lot of times, half of the women you see today, most of the women you see today on TV are light-skinned biracial women who have white mamas, a lot of them. Zendaya is a good example. Okay, and one thing she said too is that people will say, well, she's saying I'm not mixed. Basically, she means she's not biracial. Okay, I think people need to use the word biracial, because if you are in America You are mixed more majority of the time, but people's families can look different. I use the word biracial. That's a more accurate term. She's saying she's not a biracial person. She doesn't have a white parent or something else. Okay. So you got Zendaya. Zendaya is one of the biggest stars in the world. She lives her life as a black woman. She identifies as a black woman. She's classified as a black woman. Now, they have made a few changes with the U.S. Census, but that's more of a recent thing. So, that's how she moves through life. That's how she's seen by some people, and some people no. But she gets casted as a black woman, and she would be seen as some people as a light-skinned black woman, while the black women are like, hold on, we are not biracials. There is a difference. We don't come home to a white mama or daddy or Indian or Asian mama, where it's not the same, and it's not. But black people even have a bad habit of always trying to make it seem like you must be biracial. You know, if your skin is lighter, how you look, and all this stuff, and you don't know nothing about the person's family, and then they tell you, no, I'm black, then they want to dissect you and argue with you and all this other stuff. So you have Zendaya. You have Tinashe, okay? And her father, I think her father is South African, but her nationality is American. Okay, and also Zendaya, her father is Black American and Nigerian. And so you have Zendaya again, you have Tinashe, you have Jasmine Saunders. This is the image that they push a lot. Okay, this is who they have a lot now on TV to be black, light-skinned women. Okay, now I'm not here to argue about people's identity, their experiences. It's a classification, being labeled black in America. You know, it's always been that way since forever, no matter what your family look like or your ancestry. It's a classification. Okay, now, even white people they're not even fully European, and you still get called white despite that. So, okay, we have Jasmine Saunders, okay? But this is a light-skinned black woman, okay? You have Chloe Bailey and her sister Holly Bailey. Okay, you have Lisa Ray. These are not biracial women. There is a difference. You have Jane Kennedy, and you can look up their parents. Okay, Jane Kennedy. So basically, when people bring up biracial women, they always plaster. This is what you might see. People have an image of what they believe you will look like. Okay, I know I'm going a little bit all over the place. I got a lot to share when it comes to this topic of people expecting you to look a certain way. That's not accurate. When people think of biracial, they'll use a picture like this. This is Big Lotto, who is biracial. Okay, but in all reality, many biracials do not look like that. This is Samantha Mumba. Samantha Mumba is biracial. Now, people who are color struck will only focus on color. There's a lot of black people like that. They'll completely overlook somebody's facial features and just say, oh, well, their skin is browner and darker. Okay, they're black, even though their facial features is clearly mixed. But that's how people are, some people in society. You know, biracial women also look like Samantha Mumba. Okay. Also, let's see, we have Rihanna. There are people who don't want to accept Rihanna sometimes. A lot of people see her as black. She looks like one of my friends that I had when I was little, who is Black American. But there will be people who say, well, Rihanna's mixed. Yeah, it's a difference having recent type of mixture. Yeah, her father is biracial. Okay. So, but, okay, people will say, well, Rihanna, they have no problem with her claiming her ancestry and say she's mixed. Okay. But all of a sudden, Justin Sky, black people, if a woman, I have noticed that black people will love to pretend like, oh, well, it's not the slave days. Go on. If you mix, you mix. Y'all don't accept the truth. Y'all don't accept it. You don't. It depends on what the woman or the man, especially the woman, looks like, because I have seen black women, If they look like Justin Sky and they will say, I'm not black, I'm mixed. What you mean? You look like a woman in my family, but your skin color, this and that. What? She is mixed though. Rihanna has a biracial parent and she has a biracial parent. Her father is half Irish. Well, her mother is half Indian from India. So Justin Sky and Rihanna are the same. But if Justin Sky wants to say that I am a mixed woman, if she wasn't famous and people didn't know her background, you will have people who will tell her. Some people will be like, okay, I see it. And then there are other people like, no, you're just a black girl, even though she is mixed. So people pick and choose. People pick and choose, okay? And they always have this image they try to put in their mind of what somebody has to look like, if they're mixed or not. Just like people pushing images. When people think of Ethiopian women, you will see a picture like this. There is a look that people believe all Ethiopian women have. While there is a dominant look, they don't always look the same. So she is Ethiopian. But what they won't show you, okay, someone told her, but you don't look Ethiopian. She actually does look Ethiopian a little bit to me. But she has the locks in her hair. Ethiopians, you don't see them promoted with locks in their hair. Okay, her skin is a little bit darker. Her face is rounder. She's not as thin as you see them. So, and she says that people will say, oh, well, you don't look Ethiopian because they have a look. And it's not just based on skin tone. She is Ethiopian. You can see that a little bit with her features, but they might say, oh, is that your hair? Because of her skin tone, that is her hair. Ethiopians are well known to have hair like this, long hair like that, and straight hair and stuff. So, but yeah, she's Ethiopian. All right. And she would probably be seen and accepted as Ethiopian. But then you have colorism that comes in, and maybe she might go somewhere and a black person will think, oh, she got a real good weave. And actually, it's not that at all. It's her hair. Okay. Another example of people always thinking think people should look a certain way or associate certain things with their ethnicity. People always think this is what an Asian woman usually looks like. Very, very thin, very, very pale, and all of that. You don't see the Asian woman that is plus size ever being represented or seen. You don't see that, even though there are a number of Asian women who are in fact not super skinny at all. Okay, let's get a little bit more of people making assumptions about what they think a person, certain facial features or hair textures they believe you would have, and then get surprised when you don't. Okay, let's see. This is another woman. I don't know where she's from, but look at her hair. Okay, her hair is coarser than a lot of you watching. But you will have people who would think, oh, I'm surprised. They might not think she would have that type of hair texture, but she does. Okay. So you have her, but now this woman, hold on. A good photo. Oh, there you go. All right. It's a lot of photos. All right. So I'll use this one. All right. She's Haitian. She is Haitian. That is her hair. Now, you don't often see Haitian women represented, being shown, who have this type of hair. Her hair is, I guess, type 2 hair. So, I mean, look at her hair. Seriously. That's her hair. And she makes videos because people, when they find out she's Haitian or, because of her skin tone, they're like, that's your hair? I'm shocked. Yes, that's her hair. Okay. All right. Then we have, this is a Black American woman. Okay. Some of y'all don't like when I say African American, but this is a Black ADOS African American, Black American woman. Look at all her hair. Her hair is literally past her booty when she straightens it. Look how long it is, getting blow dried. Because there are people who will believe, oh, Black American women don't always grow hair that long. Well, look at her hair. Okay. Again, look at her hair. So it goes to show you people should stop associating people's skin tone all the time with their hair, or assuming the type of hair someone will have because of their complexion. All right. Look at her hair. I would say her hair is probably 4B, about 4B. The low porosity stuff versus high porosity stuff. All right. So, I mean, look at her hair. So it goes to show you, again, the differences. All right, so now I'm going to share some videos with you that women were making in response to what they saw, and I'm going to read those comments that Black women were saying under her video.
So one of the craziest things I noticed is like, okay, so whenever I wear like my real hair out, like my natural hair out, like in a puff or something, people be thinking it's not my real hair. But if I wear a wig or something, they think it's my real hair. And it's like, do y'all not expect for a light-skinned person to have 4C hair? Like, I'm kind of confused. Like, why? Some people really be shocked, like, my hair look like this, and they be like, oh, I thought it'd be like more curlier or something, like, because I'm light-skinned. And it's so crazy because, like, when I was relaxed, like, people used to ask me all the time, like, oh, are you mixed? Like, oh, your mom white? And I'm like, you know, no, like, I'm fully black. But now that, like, I'm natural and stuff like that, like, people really don't be thinking, like, this is my real hair. And it's just like, what's really tea? Like, I don't, like, I'm just trying to figure out what people be trying to get at, because just like, because I'm light skinned, you think like I should have a looser curl pattern. Like, I'm not picking up what they trying to put down. I'm not.
I have been seeing a lot of discourse about light skins or mixed people with type 4 hair, type 4C hair, afro hair, and I just want to give my two background. I am Dominican, I'm Afro-Dominican, but I'm also mixed Dominican, so I have a lot of white ancestry that I'm pretty much half and half. And as you can see, my natural hair is type 4. I would describe my curls as being 4A, 4B. I have never once felt like I didn't fit into a beauty standard. Again, this is just me speaking about it because of my proximity to whiteness, because of my light complexion. I have been told many times to people that my hair looks good on just me. Mind you, my natural hair is an afro. People have been wearing afros forever, but people have told me this hair looks good only on you. And I can't help but feel really icky when I hear that. When I first went natural, I had no idea what kind of curls I would have because I had a relaxer for so long, because my mom had a relaxer for so long, so no one really knew what was going on under this perm. So when an afro, a type 4 afro, tight curls came out of my head, I had to unpack why I was so hesitant to accept this part of me. And part of that, realizing that I was raised in a way where certain curls were good and other curls were bad. They were pelo malo. But that being said, I always felt like going natural for me was a lot easier than when my darker skin friends went natural, because I would not get called nappy head as much as they would. I would not get called all these like really weird icky things. Instead, I would get called things like exotic. Oh my god, shorty, what are you mixed with? That kind of vibe. I definitely do think skin complexion plays a factor into why some curls are considered good and some aren't. It also doesn't help that when you look up curly hair tutorial on like YouTube or TikTok, what you get is a bunch of like racially ambiguous loose curls, tight curls, but never coils, never kinks, never afros. I feel like the beauty standard will always lean proximity to whiteness, so having lighter skin when you have a certain hair texture sort of makes life a little bit easier, because you don't get called a bunch of derogatory things like your darker skin counterparts do, and that's a sad fucking fact. But yeah, we all gotta unpack like what curls are good and what curls are bad, because if it comes out of your head, how could it be bad? I feel like there's definitely a difference between like not liking the way you look with your natural hair and straight up hating your hair. I also find it kind of icky when women who look like me tell women who are darker what they should or shouldn't do with their hair, because it's like I will never know what it's like to go through the world looking a certain way with this hair texture. So I'm not in a place to speak on it. That's all I'm gonna say.
See, this is the point that I'm proving, right? About it's not the messenger, is that y'all just don't want to hear the message.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Someone said to her, "It's always the people who have long hair with loose curls telling us 4C girls how to feel. I love my hair, but it's easy for you to wear it out because it's the beauty standard. Me, on the other hand," so that's what they said to her. You don't have 4C hair like me. Your hair is looser. So how are you going to tell me how to love my hair? Okay, let's see what she had to say.
See, this is the point that I'm proving, right? About it's not the messenger, is that y'all just don't want to hear the message. Now I'm being told, not only by this person, but by multiple people on this app, that I basically shouldn't even say anything on this topic because I have long hair that's not 4C. Make it make sense. I'm an unambiguous black woman, and I'm being told to shut the fuck up. I just don't understand how we're going to get to a point where people feel beautiful wearing their hair if nobody can say, hey, feel beautiful wearing your hair, if they magically don't have the same hair type as you. What y'all want me to do, grow 4C hair magically? How can I change that? The only thing I can do is tell black women, I think you're also beautiful with your natural hair.
Here's the thing though, if you don't have 4C hair, I mean, you don't go through all of what they go through. You don't. So you don't have that experience. You don't go through certain things with trying to style your hair or certain products not working, all types of stuff. And but it is interesting her saying this. And they told her basically, you can't relate, so who are you to tell me anything? Your hair type is not the same. And she's like, hold on though, but I'm still an unambiguous. It doesn't matter if you're unambiguous. Your hair type is not the same. And she felt like, you know what, you can't really speak on 4C hair. You don't even have 4C hair. So that was interesting. But you know what? A lot of black women do this. It's always moving, like I said, because if it's about featureism, all of a sudden, a black woman who is dark skinned like her with features that's fine, I think thinner, fine, or whatever you want to say, just smaller features or whatever. Then all of a sudden, if you're seen as pretty, then they throw a fit about that. Oh, your skin is the same as me, but your features are different and people keep calling you really pretty and stuff. Oh, so you're benefiting from featureism now. So you can't speak about to me as your dark-skinned sister because you don't have unambiguous features like me. So now you're benefiting. I'm going to throw you in there with the women I talk about that's not black enough, of lighter skin. You in there too. Do you see all of this? Do you see this? This is all psychological damage that black women of all shades experience from both ends of the spectrum. All of us have experienced certain things, seen certain things, heard certain things, noticed certain things. Everyone is going back and forth with each other based on, again, oh, well, you're seen as pretty. Oh, your features are not Negroid enough. Oh, if it's not that, oh, your hair though, your hair is longer. Oh, your eyes are lighter. Oh, your hair is loose curled. Oh, you're thinner. Oh, your nose is pointier. Oh, your mixed features. Oh, it's just an argument about who is being seen as acceptable, who is being seen as pretty, whose struggle is more. Oh, you can't relate because of this, you can't relate because of that. So, all right, so when it comes to hair texture, I've ran across a couple of things that I'm showing you today that's just very interesting but not surprising. One thing I noticed is that a lot of Black people who like to travel to other countries that they feel are Black American friendly, they will promote Brazil a lot, and Black people love to put on the internet, Brazil is the blackest place outside of Africa. Brazil is mixed up. Okay, and that's pretty obvious. Now, if you are Black and if you fit in with Brazilians, it's because you have a mixed phenotype like them. Brazil is not all welcoming to Black people. The Carnival Queen had her title taken away because Brazilians thought she was too dark. She was a dark-skinned woman, darker than the woman on the screen, very dark, and they didn't want her to represent Brazil. They took her title away. So stop pushing these lies that just because certain places have Black populations that they also don't discriminate. They don't have issues with if your hair is 4C and your skin is dark. You know, Brazil has been promoted so much and no one wants to talk about them also having issues. So look at this real quick.
I hated Brazil. I'm a Black woman and I hated my time in Brazil because the colorism and the texturism were the worst I have experienced anywhere in my entire life. I feel like this is really pertinent for me to say right now in this conversation that we're having again about Black women wearing wigs, weaves, or their natural hair and makeup, etc. Because literally it's not just Black women wear these things because we hate ourselves or because we deep down don't like it. I love my natural hair. Always have. I've actually been natural my entire life. Even when I was a straight hair natural, I love my hair. When I was a curly natural, I love my hair. I love my locks. Love it all. Right now I have a shortcut. I love it. I love the way I look with natural hair. But the rest of you don't. And the way that people treated me in Brazil, the stark difference between when I had my natural hair and when I went to go and get a wig was so intense that I actually have decided I will never go back to Brazil. So this is the story. I went to the airport. I was in Sao Paulo Airport, which GRU is actually literally a hellscape. But I was there. It was a layover on my way to Colombia. I was going back to Colombia to get my braces serviced. However, I never made it to Colombia because of how extraordinarily racist, colorist, xenophobic, rude, and just all around colors, just everything. Like the level of racial prejudice I experienced in GRU airport because of my natural hair was so immense that I spent 4 hours walking around that airport asking people in Portuguese to help me find an exit. I literally at one point actually broke down and sobbed in the airport because people kept walking over me, walking around me, through me, while I'm trying to speak to them and ask them to help me even exit the airport. So basically, I got my yellow fever vaccine in Brazil, but they did not give me the correct vaccination card. As such, I could not board the plane to go to Colombia, or so I thought. However, when I got there, mind you, I'm running through the airport. People are giving me the most dirtiest looks. And at that time, I was natural. I had a short natural haircut. I had sponged it out. I thought it was very cute. And I was wearing a nice red, classy dress. And literally so many people gave me the dirtiest looks ever. It was actually the worst experience with racism I've ever had in my entire life. When I finally get to the gate, I'm asking the woman like, hey, here's my ticket, here's my stuff, etc. Here's my vaccine card. She's like, no, you can't get on the plane, basically. And she won't explain why. I ask her why. She said, this isn't the right card. I say, okay, where can I get the right card? She lies intentionally and sends me to the wrong place to get these cards and says, yeah, we're also not going to cover your flight expense because it's your fault, basically. I was like, well, let me talk to a manager or something. The manager is trying to ignore me. Like, when I tell you, everyone in that airport ignored me for hours. Even when I finally was like, okay, fine, I'll leave. I'll go try and get this card or whatever. because I'm on the other side of the airport, the exit for people who are departing is on the other side of the airport. And I don't know that. I don't know this airport. It's my first time here. And no one would help me. Like, nobody would. I asked so many people, like, hey, could you help me find the help me find the exit? I asked people that work there. I asked airport employees, and they were all just like, no, it's like over there or something. I don't know. For hours, you guys, for literal hours. The second time I came back to GRU, at this point I had gotten a different vaccination card and whatever. And they once again almost tried to not let me get on my plane to South Africa. But I honestly believe that they let me go because I better fit the standard of beauty with a wig on my head, with straight hair. And while I was grateful and happy to be able to get on my flight to South Africa to leave, to get out of Brazil, the idea that literally, I mean, instantly, as soon as I put this wig on my head, I started getting so many compliments from people like, oh, you're so beautiful, you're so pretty. It is not that Black women don't love ourselves. It is not that we don't think we're beautiful natural. You all don't. The rest of you do not see our beauty until we put on the hair of white women. And that's the truth. That's the facts. And you treat us terribly if we do not conform. Awfully. And yeah, so that was my experience in Brazil. And I had that experience numerous times. Even when I had like braids versus not having braids in Brazil, I noticed it once again. Like, Brazil do not like type 4 hair at all. And I know there's another dark-skinned Black girl on here who's had lovely experiences. And I know so many people love Brazil because there's so many Black people, but I did not have a good experience. And I went to Rio, I went to Salvador, and I went to Sao Paulo. And in none of those places was my natural hair at all appreciated. And I received so much colorism and so much texturism wearing my natural hair in Brazil that it honestly has partially scarred me. And I will just never go back. So I just want to say that because I know so many people love Brazil, but baby, it's not for the weak.
And you know what? There will be people who will still dismiss what she's saying. There will be people, because I looked through the comments section and there were Black women saying, I didn't have this experience. Lord have mercy. When will... There was a video I had showed. Basically, another Black woman had went through some of what she went through in a different country. And it's like, wake up. We look different. Okay? You might get treated a certain way. I might get treated a certain way in Brazil, completely different than her. And I don't know why there are Black men and women, but it's a lot of Black women under these comments. Okay. I'm like, why don't you understand that you might get treated differently in another country because you look more mixed, your skin is lighter than her, you have a different experience than her? Wake up to that. I mean, seriously. Also, she mentioned that type 4 hair is not appreciated. I don't fully agree because I see a lot of Brazilian women, usually a lot 4A hair, but 4A is still type 4 hair. It's not 4C, but her hair looked a little maybe 4B, 4C a little bit, but I've seen a lot of women in Brazil who have gone natural. They have a lot of hair, curly and everything. It didn't look like her hair. It didn't look, an afro. It's more of an afro curl, still type maybe 4A hair. But that was her experience. No one can say that that's not what she went through and the treatment that she received. And a lot of Black people love to promote Brazil. But the truth is that the darker you get, the worse the treatment can get in countries that, there's a lot of people that look like me. Yeah, but you don't look like her. They will accept you because you fit in. Versus a woman who was very dark with an afro, who you don't look like, who they don't look like, and then the treatment is different. And people don't like to call out Brazil. They like to make it seem like Brazil is just some paradise for all Black people to go to. Oh, Brazil is one of the blackest countries besides Africa. They love to say that all over the TikTok and social media. So the truth is that, look, I look up stuff, okay? It says, according to the recent census data, majority of Brazilians identify as pardo, which means mixed race. They do not identify as black, but black people keep saying it's the blackest place. They don't identify as black. They identify as mixed, making it the largest ethnic group in the country. Approximately 45% of the population identifies as pardo. Pardo means brown and refers to people of mixed ancestry, European, African, and indigenous. That is the same thing over here. The difference is they claim they're mixed ancestry and black Americans do not on average. Let's just be honest. So you go over there and you think, well, they love me. I'm welcome. Yeah, if you look like them and stuff like that. But they don't like very dark skin over there. I'm talking like Akon. No, they don't. They'll accept it with a man, but not necessarily women over there. Okay. Unless I have seen women very dark like Akon with, I don't associate straight hair with white women. A lot of people on the planet have straight hair who are not white. There are Brazilian women who are dark like Akon with straight hair. I've seen it. Okay, so it says, according to the 2022 Brazilian census, only 10.2% of Brazil's population, or 20 million basically people, identify as preto, which means black. This makes up one of the 5 ethnic categories in Brazil. Pardos is multiracial. They make up 45%. White is 43%. Indigenous is 0.6%. The term preto is typically used for people with the darkest skin tones. So many Brazilians of African descent identify as pardo instead, mixed. However, racial classifications in Brazil are based on phenotype, your facial features, not your ancestry. That's kind of interesting. So many people who identify as white or black have ancestors from other races. Basically, someone will say they're a white Brazilian. They're not even full European. They're mixed race. But because their facial features or how they look is European, then they're saying that they are white. And that kind of is the same thing in America, too, that goes on. So it says that social factors like wealth, social class, and racial prejudice influence these racial classifications in Brazil. So yeah, if some people don't want to go through racism, they're not going to identify as black, even though it's well known Brazil is a very mixed up place. But black people keep saying it's the blackest place outside of Africa, and majority of them do not even identify as black. So okay, let's get into the comments that people left towards the woman who said she doesn't fit the beauty standard because her hair is 4C. Let's see what people were, mainly black women, were saying to her. All right, so here are some of the comments that were being left to her because she felt like she doesn't fit the beauty standard because while she is pretty and her skin is light, her hair texture is 4C. Okay, so someone said to her, so basically you're saying, so you hit the Eurocentric jackpot. It wasn't those beady beads. Hold on. They said, so you hit the Eurocentric jackpot if it wasn't for those beady beads, her hair. You know, got it, girl. I got it. All right. Like, literally, I totally understand what she's saying, but it's what I'm getting low key. Basically, they're saying, okay, I look good. I'm the standard, but if it wasn't for this kinky hair, then, you know, I would be more of the standard. I hit the jackpot, but that messed me up having this 4C hair. You said that you would be the beauty standard if it wasn't for your hair. That's very dense and a one-dimensional take. You struggle that you aren't privileged enough. You should look within. She said, I didn't say that, but I also didn't say that I wanted to be the beauty standard. I spoke on my insecurities and how the beauty standards have negatively impacted my natural hair journey. Are you complaining that you don't fit the light skin beauty standard because you have 4C hair? Because if you're insecure about your hair, you didn't have to bring skin tone into the conversation. You said that you would be, it's just amazing because black people stay talking about black women's skin tone. You get upset to bring it up, but yet some of you stay talking about our skin tones always bringing it up all over the place. And then when someone acknowledges the skin tone and certain things, then all of a sudden, oh, how could you? How could you? Does anyone else agree with me? I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments section. You said that you would be the beauty standard if it was not for your hair. That's a one-dimensional take. Okay, I had read that. Why are some people acting like you don't know this? Seriously, you know what the world you're in. You know how things are within the black race and stuff. Why are you bothered that she acknowledged something that most people know is true within Black America? Black people love to associate or love to shout out, what they assume your hair texture will be. Okay? And if a black person has very kinky hair, black people will be the first ones to make a comment about it. Black people stay saying stuff out their mouth and then pretending you don't know what's going on. I don't understand why. Just please with it, okay? I know black people very well, okay? Y'all will say stuff out your mouth and then hide your hands and pretend to act so morally righteous and that you don't say prejudiced stuff and you don't have these preconceived notions about people and all this other stuff. Light-skinned women are held to a beauty standard that doesn't require them to have an attractive face in order to be preferred. Yeah, by colorist black men. Colorist black men will choose any black woman. You can be really, really big. You don't have to look all that. But if he's a colorist, he'll pick you because your skin is simply light. Other groups of men don't all operate like that if they're going to date a black woman. That's black men. The ones who are colorists who will choose any woman if her skin is lighter and they don't have any standards. I mean, they do that with white women. A number of them, you never hear them mention what they find attractive about her. They'll just say, I got a white girl. They don't mention her hair color, her facial features. What do they like about her? So that's a lot of black men who operate that way. Okay. So she says, well, that's part of the privilege that I'm aware of. We can acknowledge that there is real privilege and still recognize the fact that there are other issues within our community and listen to that. Okay. Someone said, as a stylist, a hairstylist, I hear this a lot. Don't let them find out a darker skinned woman has a looser hair texture. Okay. Then they get upset. She's saying that. She was saying she feels insecure because people hold her to a beauty standard. The underlining HAT towards her is crazy. Yeah. I couldn't even show all the comments, the vitriol they had. Even some black women laughing like, ha ha, I got looser hair than you and I'm darker. Ha ha, it must suck for you. Woo. They were saying stuff like that. She says, I know exactly what you mean. There's not enough representation of lighter skinned women with their 4C hair. Personally, I say your perspective may change the older you get. Me as a dark skinned woman watching this with 3C and 4C hair, girl, be for real. It's just amazing to me how black people like to act brand new. As if y'all not the main ones always stereotyping black people. Y'all do this a lot, just like you love to bash on light-skinned black men about their masculinity all the time. Yeah, that's disgusting to me. And y'all love to do it as a so-called community. It's disgusting. Okay? So don't act brand new like you don't understand how she developed this mentality, of being insecure about it when black people are the main ones swearing to God that, you think everybody's skin tone determines their hair texture. Please with it. She says, I get what you're trying to say. Because you're light, people expect you to have a texture that you don't have. So it makes you feel insecure. People in the comments are acting like they don't understand what you're trying to say. And that's crazy. But yeah, they took out their anger on her. Some of them in there. I think they were triggered the fact that she can even acknowledge that, you get seen as a beauty standard by some people. Okay. I'm a brown-skinned woman with looser hair. People always ask me, did I do something to get my hair curly? I think it's kind of backhanded. You are beautiful no matter your hair texture. I feel and have felt the same exact way all of my life. When people discuss light skin being the preference, I always exclude myself because of my hair. This is rooted in colorism too. You see dark women with that hair, and you can't fathom the fact that a light-skinned woman could have it. The way the light-skinned woman put themselves on a pedestal, as if black women weren't running around always talking about a light skin with loose hair. Now you're shocked that some light-skinned women, well, they feel some type of way if they don't have looser hair. Some of them. Okay. You'd be surprised the amount of black men that are surprised by my afro. Everyone's saying it's a 70s look. They definitely feel like you look better with loose curls. Do people often assume you're mixed without seeing your afro? Exactly, the problem is they're letting biracial women be the beauty standard for black women, when in reality they're not fully black. Basically, like I had showed with Zendaya and stuff, you don't often see actual light-skinned black women who don't have a white parent represented anymore a lot. And that's why people are getting confused and they keep trying to label every woman as a biracial that's not biracial. Lord, fully black women on here crying because they don't meet the same beauty standards as biracial women. First of all, biracial women are not the only women who have looser hair, baby. Okay? And I've already shown that with the photos. All right. Plenty of biracial women have kinky hair, even kinkier than black women. Okay. I'm black with soft hair. But if my hair wasn't this texture, oh well, I'm black. Okay, so what? And it still doesn't mean anything you saying that, you know. Understood fully. Also to be mentioned, when darker skinned women have looser curls, their blackness is questioned. That does happen a lot too. Okay, I always say this is not Africa, baby. I don't understand where the racial confusion. Why don't black people understand who black people are in America? Yet this is not Africa. Okay. And yes, there are different textures in parts of Africa, but mainly West Africans have 4C hair. The vast majority, a very large percent of them. And a little bit of 4B, but I'm just saying. All right. You've basically just said 4C hair struggle should be for dark-skinned girls, not lighties like you. Shame on you. There's a reason you were hesitant to say it. This is insulting. She said, I was hesitant to say it because I knew, like you, many people would be upset at the messenger and not the message. Black people are not a monolith. I said that at the beginning of the video before I saw she said it too. It's only because of how she looks that they were complaining. You have to walk on eggshells as a black woman that's not. I get confused sometimes, the unambiguous, ambiguous stuff, but you have to walk on eggshells. Seriously. You will be thrown under the bus so fast, because this has happened to me. Anything you say, because someone is very sensitive or they think you benefit, and they will be quick to label you stuff and turn on you. You have to walk on eggshells about what you say. And it's ridiculous. And I think she was brave for saying what she said, her insecurities. I don't think she meant it to say that she was better than anybody, but black people, this is black people's fault. I don't care what black people say. I grew up around black people. I know black people. Okay. Y'all say some ignorant stuff. You stereotype your fellow black people. And then when they end up with mental health issues, because that's what this is, behind what y'all be doing and saying, then you want to act like you don't know what's going on, or, well, you benefiting and all this stuff. So how could you have an insecurity? See, your problem is you get your confidence from the beauty standard. But is that what you want to meet? What woman on the planet would be mad of being preferred by men? No woman on earth. Why do you think white women they're so quiet when it comes to the issue of interracial dating? Why would she mess up her own? White women date all races of men. The world puts white women on a beauty standard. Not everybody. Yes, plenty of men like women who ain't white if they think you look good. But globally, you know what I'm saying? You don't hear white women ever trying to go against that. Why would she? It helps her get married. It helps her get the best men. You're not going to find not one woman that would ever complain about being preferred by men. Why would you? And the only women that complain are women who cannot get men, or they're not seen as attractive. So of course they're pissed off, okay? Because there'll be somebody who will take what I said and try to spin something. There are plenty of black women who are not suffering from being seen as pretty, cute, and beautiful and being complimented. Only the women who don't get attention from men and who are not seen attractive are always whining and complaining. And that's understandable. And it's not always based on your phenotype. Some women need a makeover. I mean, that's a whole video I can do on that, but I ain't going to get into that. Okay? So, all right. The beauty standard is projected onto girls from a very young age, and let's be so serious. She is expressing her battle with it and learning to love her natural hair. How is it hard to understand? I am light-skinned, but baby, delete this. You definitely could have worded this better. Skin tone does not correlate with hair texture. She never said that. She said that's exactly the point that I'm making. If you were dark-skinned, it would be okay to have 4C hair? It's just not because you're light-skinned and pretty? I'm not trying to hate. I just don't get it. She says, I'm saying that's what society expects, but that's simply not the case. Black is very diverse, and you can't just put black people in a box. We can range from any skin color and hair texture. They heard her very clear when she explained it. Some of them was just mad and wanted to go off on her. So because you are light skinned with 4C hair, you feel ugly? So dark skinned girls with 4C hair should feel what then? Oh my goodness gracious. Everybody is on TikTok and YouTube already knows that there are a number of dark-skinned women who complain about having 4C hair, and that black men also discriminate against 4C hair, especially when you're dark-skinned. This is not a secret. So the truth is that you are bothered that because you thought that she would think she was better based on skin tone, you can't believe that she has an insecurity like a dark-skinned girl with 4C hair. Oh, let me guess. Oh, well, even if you have 4C hair and you're light skinned, you're still not the same as us. I can read between the lines, and I know how some of y'all are out here. It's not your hair that's the problem. It's your entitlement. I'm so happy you have 4C hair. Even if your eyebrows look like you have 4C hair, good for you. I live in a dark-skinned girl's. Hold on. I live or love, I'm not sure, dark-skinned girls with loose 4B hair. They are beautiful. Good on them. Interesting that you are saying, I'm happy that you ended up with 4C hair. I love the black dark-skinned girls with 4B hair. Do you see how messed up this person is and what they're really saying? They are beautiful. Good on them. So yeah, you think that 4C hair on a dark-skinned woman ain't all that either. That's what you're saying in the comment. Okay. Question mark. All dark-skinned and brown-skinned women don't have 4C hair. You know, let's be honest. During the slave days, most biracial children are either brown skin in the middle or light skin. Brown skin women have all the hair textures, all the eye colors, all the different phenotypes. Yes, there is diversity with dark skinned women, but brown skinned women are mixed women. So I don't, that's a whole different video I can do. But, Lord, let's stay on topic. That's a whole different video. Okay. All dark skin and brown skin women don't have 4C hair. This has absolutely nothing to do with skin tone. LOL. Your hair type is based on genetics and not skin complexion, baby. This makes me sad how you separated yourself from the black community because you don't like your hair. All hair and all skin types are beautiful. She never separated herself. She literally said that she knows that black people are not a monolith, but she has a beauty standard that people project on her, black people, that they believe her hair would be looser, and she feels insecure about that. Again, a dark-skinned woman who says she feels she doesn't fit a beauty standard because her hair 4C, no one attacks them this way. So you want to conform to the beauty standard for light-skinned women. Okay, I get it. Then go back to relaxing your hair if it doesn't make you confident. So because you're light-skinned, you're automatically supposed to have good hair. Well, that's what black people love to say. That's what black people love to say. Why are y'all acting? I know I've been repeating myself. Y'all love to pretend to be innocent, like y'all don't be saying these type of things. It makes me sick. Yeah, the new school Gen Z, they've been trying to change a few stuff. Like me saying the word nappy, I can get cursed out on social media. And I mean, I've had this happen. If I say nappy, like bringing up, they'll say it's not nappy. Like if we're discussing hair and these type of topics come up, and 4C hair, black people call it nappy hair. Oh, you're anti-black. Oh, how could you say nappy? Black people have been calling nappy for centuries. This is only some recent stuff that y'all got this hair system up, and I understand nappy is considered derogatory now, and you know it feels insulting. You don't say it, but if you say that word, people know what type of hair texture you're talking about. But I understand that today, black people are trying to change stuff, embrace the different textures, embrace the 4C hair, embrace a lot of stuff, you know, get the negativity off of stuff. I understand all that. Okay? So, all right. So because you're light skinned, you're automatically supposed to have good hair? No, ma'am, ma. It don't work like that. I hope you learn to love yourself for who you are. Your name being Nina Simone should have deaded this. The fact that you know you sound ridiculous and share this just shows the entitlement. This is disrespectful to Nina Simone's memory and legacy. No, baby, it is detrimental to you and you alone. Sounds like a very personal problem. You need to figure out why you think and feel this way about yourself. I know exactly what you mean. Being lighter but having coily hair. It's like people expect your hair to be looser because you're lighter. It's weird and rooted in anti-blackness. Is your mom white? Well, I showed you her parents earlier. Because you're black and light skinned, most light skinned women we see in the media are mixed biracial. Because, okay, they're going to drag you, but I get your point. My grandma is very light with green eyes and the tightest hair ever, and her man used to pressure her to get her perm rods to emulate a looser curl. Why was she with him then? Seriously. All right. Everything you said is valid, and you shouldn't be afraid to vocalize that. I also think you tried to be sensitive to the obvious victims of colorism and texturism. I understand what you mean. It takes time to love your natural hair. Texturism can hurt your confidence a lot, and your feelings are valid. I feel you. I grew up getting told my hair was nappy, so I always hated my hair. Then in the same breath, you get told you're not black enough. Black people are can be very prejudiced within our group. Okay. But when you say that, they'll say, oh, it's not the same. It only applies if your skin is darker. The comments and snide remarks and stereotypes, it's different. If your facial features and your hair or your skin tone all of a sudden is different. I feel you, girl. When I first went natural, my curl was not giving what I thought it would. I just knew I was going to have that 4A, 4B wash and go look. But our curls are so pretty. Thank you for being vulnerable. Yes, it's very hard in the beginning, but eventually, if you don't mind being patient, it will work out in the end and you will love it. You being a light-skinned black woman, you being a light-skinned black woman, you're the beauty standard within the black community, and that's just a fact. Yes, you can have insecurities about your 4C hair, but within that, you still have more. What kind of privilege? I mean, black people, y'all love to pretend that if you're not dark-skinned, your mortgage is getting paid off and your life is so wonderful and all of that. That is a doggone lie. Y'all are crazy. Y'all, I'm sorry. The most privilege you get, I mean, if a person is racist from another culture, they still not going to be nice to you. You still have to pay bills like everybody else. Okay. I mean, okay. More men, especially black, will pick you. They'll like you. You have more access to some of the top black men. A lot of non-black men, I mean, they got to think you cute, period, to even talk to you. But yeah, a number of them who are men of color. I find that white men do not discriminate very hard. No, they'll date black women of all shades. When you deal with other men of color who are not black, I feel like some of the colorism within their community can be worse than Black America. So, okay, you can benefit from privilege, that, you know, liking some of us and stuff like that. Okay. But overall, I mean, the way black people talk, you would think there's some secret group type of thing. And, oh, they're light skinned black people. Let's give them this and give them this for free and make, like, stop. Lord, please. I'm telling you. I mean, don't get me wrong. We know historically, let's say when it comes to a job, maybe someone might hire you because they feel you represent the company better. If they think you're pretty and stuff, put you in the front desk or something like that. That's a whole nother video I can do. All right. So basically, like I said, okay, she's complaining, but at the end of the day, you're still not a dark-skinned black woman, so your pain doesn't matter. What you go through doesn't matter. You know, it's like I said with the whole you're rich type of thing. So who are you to complain? How can you have depression? How can you talk? You can. It's like who has it worse? Who has it the worst? So I don't care. I don't care, girl. Okay. Your feelings are valid. I know it can be hard to like your natural hair if you aren't used to wearing it all the time. Find what works for you. Okay, so that is it for this video. I know I could go in a little bit more. I see both sides of things though. I do think that there were a number of black women who were very wrong to go against this woman and put words in her mouth that she didn't say. I think that some are insensitive to the fact that she has struggles with her natural hair and her wearing her 4C hair just like any other black woman. I think that black people are lying through their teeth to not understand why she felt the way she felt when there are a number of black people who are always making it sound like every doggone black woman who is not dark skinned must have loose hair. A number of black people have been screaming and shouting that for decades on social media, all over the place, and the men especially. So let's not pretend like you can't understand how she ended up being affected by that. And like, oh, well, you know, black people are always assuming what somebody's mixture is and how mixed someone is based on skin tone or your facial features, and making comments when, I mean, people want to get on her, but there are plenty of dark-skinned women who have said when black people see my hair, they act like I'm not black or keep asking me, how did I get my hair? What you mixed with? Oh, you got good hair. Or what's going on here? Black people act that way towards dark-skinned women who have loose hair. So why act like y'all don't act a certain way when a very light-skinned woman has very coarse 4C hair? Okay, there have been plenty who have said black people act in shock because black people love to they love to pretend how black, they like to tell people how black they are based on skin tone and your facial features. Some people took what she said the wrong way, but when you listen to what she said, I don't think she meant to say it to hurt anybody or to offend. She knew that she knew what might come. That's why she said, I don't know if I should say it, because you have to walk on eggshells. It's like, yeah, you see me. She is a beautiful woman. She's very beautiful. Okay. And she don't have issues getting a man. She's beautiful. She has a boyfriend. But they feel like, well, you know what? But because of your skin tone or being pretty, you know, are you really going through a struggle? Or, well, your struggle doesn't mean anything, because at the end of the day, you can still get chosen. Usually when they say that, they're talking about black men, you know, oh, well, you can still get chosen. So, you know, what does it matter, your pain? And I see that a lot. You know, I don't discuss colorism a lot on my channel. It irritates me. But, you know, when you say certain things, there are some women who will use it against you, like, oh, well, you ain't suffering, or, well, you're still getting chosen by black men, you still seen as attractive, so you can't understand certain stuff, you ain't going through this and that, or everything you say gets flipped around and turned on you, and they want to paint you a certain way when that's not even what you're trying to say. You know, it's sort of like, well, whose pain is worse type of thing. You know, whenever I've talked about reverse colorism, I still get told off to this day if I say that, like, oh, it doesn't exist. Get out of my face. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Not on the same level, okay? Not always on the same level, but it does happen. It does happen, okay? Someone discriminated against you, picking on you, mentioning how you look, mentioning your skin tone, doing things to sabotage you, to not be able to get something because, oh, well, you know, doing things on the job to you, making snide, nasty comments, mentioning your skin tone. But all of a sudden, you know, it ain't the same because, you know, if you're not a dark-skinned woman, who gives a crap? And that's what makes a lot of Black people absolutely not. And like I said, it's all from different angles, all different angles. And but no one wants to talk about that. It's like, no one wants to talk about that. And at one point, Black women especially, it was all about skin tone. If you were dark, it's just colorism with that. Then it turned to, oh, no, 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 no. Oh, you're dark. Oh, but hold on now. You got looser hair. You can't necessarily sit with us completely. You benefiting. The men like you because of your hair. Oh, your dark skin. Oh, she got light eyes though. Oh, look at her facial features. Oh, she got her facial features is different. Her face ain't strongly negroid like us. She benefiting from pretty privilege. Oh, you can't understand, or you European. You know, it's just, please, child, just please. Psychological issues all over the place. Black people will blame the white man in slavery. Believe me, the white man ain't got to be present for this to be going on. Okay, I ain't trying to hear it. Okay, this is a mentality running among with Black people everywhere, not even in America, but all over the place. Okay, and it's not because of white people, it's because there's diversity. And as long as there's diversity in this race, somebody always gonna be complaining and competing with each other because you got something that they don't have, and vice versa. And they observe it, who getting more attention, you know, oh, whose features is this, whose eye colors is this, who got a big butt, who got long hair. Oh, if it's not long but it's looser, oh, this and that. It's always something. It's always something. So, you know, I'm gonna leave. That's all I'm gonna say with this video. I will be reading your comments. Black women are diverse, and I just want to see it like the 1990s again. Because Black people weren't this bad with colorism, in my opinion, until the early to mid 2000s is when I really saw this problem all over the place. I would say during the 1990s is when you saw so much diversity with Black women being celebrated, and that's realistically Black race in America. All phenotypes, all hair colors, all hair types, all skin colors needs to be represented. That is the reality. There cannot be one Black woman beauty standard. There cannot, because Black women do not look the same. We need to see diversity, and all of that diversity celebrated, in my opinion. Okay, so that is it for this video. But before I go, we have Fashion Spotlight, where I show some outfits that I absolutely love. These fabulous women. Okay, first we have Faya Ferrari, and I absolutely love this outfit. This is a beautiful sort of turquoise, mint turquoise type of color to me. I love her dress, and I love her matching Hermes purse. It looks fabulous. It's just such a pretty color to me. So I really thought it was simple and really cute. We have Candy Burris. We know her from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She is wearing, it looks like this is a Fendi outfit, and I thought she looked absolutely fabulous. I thought it was cute, this cute little mini dress, her matching jacket with the gold buttons. I thought she looked really, really cute. It's a cute outfit to me. Okay, we have Andra Day. Look at this. I love sequins. I love gold. She has this sort of cape look going on. Her makeup looks fabulous. This is a sexy, cute outfit. Seriously, she looks absolutely amazing. So their names are up top. That's their Instagram names. You can go on their pages to see more of their fabulous looks. They look absolutely absolutely amazing. So that is it for this video. I'm sure there will be a lot of comments. I don't know what to expect. Oh, Lord have mercy. But I will be reading them, okay? I thank you all for coming by my page, and please get those likes up, subscribe, hit the bell, click all notifications, and please be respectful in the comments, okay? If you disagree with some things I said, I mean, that is fine. We can have different opinions on certain stuff, but let's have honest conversations with each other, okay? So that is it for this video. I thank you so much for joining me. I cannot wait to read your comments about this and what do you think. All right, so you all take care, and no sort of colorism is on my channel. It will not be allowed. I don't care what skin shade you are. If you make insulting comments about Black women based on skin tone, okay, I don't care what the skin tone is, you will more than likely be blocked. I'm not having it over here. So thank you so much, everybody. You all take care. Bye.